it's Lori the Armchair Chef. This will be my video as your favorite postal nut. This is going to be the information I give you that I have at handy right now about the holiday mailing season and maybe some tips and tricks and things you could do. So I have made a I have typed up a sheet that gives you the prices and things of the flat rate packages. And I'm going to put this at the end of my video. So that way, when it ends, you can pause it if you want to take a look at any of these numbers and write it down. Now, the only numbers that we can guarantee is flat rate. If you don't do flat rate, your package will be decided by weight and how far it's going. So typically, if your package is not going very far, it does not need to be flat rate. It's going to cost less. However, there's some things you can do to make your packages cheaper. I know not all of you want to use the computer, not all of you have a printer. Now, I found out from a customer that in Utah, you can go, if you get a library membership, you can get 15 free printing sheets. Was it a month? A year? I'm sorry. There was 15 free, and I don't know if it was a month or a year. However, if you need to print labels out, if you want to print one label out and then make copies of it, if it's your address, your return address or something, you can do that. You can't reprint a label, but you can't use the same label more than once, but you can, you could handwrite on a sheet of paper your labels, whatever, and then print them out at the library for free, and then cut them out, put them on your stuff if you need to. So let me go over some of the increases. The date that has been published is October 6th through January 19th. That's a very long time to have a little higher prices. Okay. So I know a lot of you are going to be mailing blankets and things so if you send it through us, the prices will be going up a little bit, not a lot. Now I have a feeling that UPS and FedEx are probably going to go up more because they can do whatever they want. They're not restricted in and have to be approved by what they do. We are. Now, a lot of things that you send through UPS, we end up delivering it anyway. So you pay their prices, but then we deliver it. So you might as well just come over and pay our prices because they're not as much, and we deliver it anyway. Just saying. The flat envelopes, we deliver all those. The UPS ones, they don't deliver those. They don't go to every house every day. They're lucky to get the packages delivered when they're supposed to. So, okay. Also, we are not, what are we not? We're not doing FedEx anymore. We severed our contract. I don't know the details, but we severed our contract with FedEx. So we aren't delivering their packages. I don't know. Did we ever deliver their packages? I wish I knew a little more information on that. But also, if you use Pitney Bowes, or if you have any packages that have return labels that you get that have Pitney Bowes on them, they're out of business. You cannot mail anything that has Pitney Bowes on it anymore. We get things from the SodaStream people where they send back their air canisters and it's a Pitney Bowes label. You can't send them back anymore. Pitney Bowes is out of business. You'll have to contact them to get new labels to return your air canisters. I had to send one back to a customer yesterday because we can't mail those anymore. They're out of business. So yeah, you'll need to find another way to mail it. So let me go over the express rate is regular price for your express mail that you want to send your paperwork in is $30.45. Now at Christmas, that's going to go up to 32. Yeah. Most of the time, what you'll be using, let me see, the flatted, okay. you'll be able to see these. Let me give you the ones you're probably going to use. Okay. The priority mail you probably will be using are the flat rate boxes the medium one that's regular 1840 is going to be 1930. It's going up 90 cents. Okay. Not a lot, but it's something. It's 90 cents. That's the flat rate medium. Now the large one is going up $1.25, the large flat rate box. So if you can, you would save money by sending it in a medium flat rate box. If you can shove it in there, if you can put it in a Ziploc bag and suck the air out of it and get it as small as possible, you'd save a little bit of money. If you have a lot of things to mail, that might be beneficial to you. The small flat rate box, which is, that one that's the size of a cassette tape for us old people, that's regular 1040. That's going up $1. It's going up 60 cents. So it's not too bad, but that's a nice size to send some little treats to somebody. When we send our Christmas card stuff, we send our Secret Santa stuff. Sometimes that's a good size if we're not sending a whole bunch of yarn or something. If you want to send somebody a crocheted item or some ornaments or something, that's not bad. If you don't have to send a whole lot of them, 10 of them, that's $100. So let's see. If you do not mail something flat rate, it's going to be based on the weight and how far it's going. And those increases are from 30 cents to $16, depending. So you can go online to the USPS.com website, punch in your information, and it'll give you an idea of what the price is going to be. So you will know what could be your best option. Under shipping, you can I think it's called Get a Rate. And I did this on a customer's mail at work because I didn't want to haul it over. It was huge. So I went onto the website and put in the dimensions, put in the weight, and it told me and where it's going, the 2 zip codes. You need both zip codes, and it'll give you a guesstimate of what they're going to charge you for it. So yeah, you can do that online before you go to the post office, before you stand in line. That could be helpful if you're mailing out a lot of the same thing, but you're going to different places in the country. Some of those would be better in flat rate, and some of them might not be. Might be cheaper without flat rate if it's close. This is why when I did my mystery yarn challenge, if you wanted somebody close to you, I could match you up because shipping is more expensive the further you go. That's why I let you have that option. Okay, now your first class mail, when you're sending out your Christmas cards and your postcards and things, those prices are not going to go up. However, there are some guidelines I'd like you to keep in mind when you're doing this. You have these really pretty, cool, fancy greeting cards now. They have things in them, they pop open. Those you have to pay extra for, okay? It doesn't matter if it's under an ounce, but if it's lumpy, they charge extra for that because it's not flat and it can go through and get damaged in the machines. So that's an extra 46 cents. Postage is going to be 73 cents for your Christmas cards. And then if you have one of those fancy ones, or you want to put stuff in there that's not flat, it makes it lumpy, like what we did with our Christmas ornament exchanges. It's only 46 cents extra, as long as it fits through the letter slot, which is about 1/8 of an inch. You can check that at your house. Don't make it too thick, because that's why I use those catalog envelopes when I did mine, so it wouldn't be too expensive. Yeah, extra 46 cents. You want to send. I really don't want you to, but if you want to send coins, keys, small things that are hard, you'll have to pay the extra 46 cents, but also tape up the edges of your envelope because that stuff pops out. It goes through the edges. Tape. If you do want to do that, you can do that. It's not supposed to go through the machine because it can damage your mail and other people's mail, and it can damage the machine. And you have to pay 46 cents extra on top of the 73 cents. So we have a stamp. Do we have a stamp for that? I think we do. Let me see. 73 plus 46. is $1.19. Yeah, we do have a stamp for that. It's a blue butterfly. That's our non-machinable stamp. I've never seen one other than a blue butterfly. But if you have something that you're going to mail, if it's square, this blows my mind, but it's real. If you mail anything perfectly square, you have to pay an extra charge. This is because of the machinability of it. So it would need a blue butterfly if it's not over an ounce. That's 1 ounce plus non-machinable. Yeah. If it's over 1 ounce, we have 2 ounce stamps and then an extra 46 cents. We have a 2 ounce stamp. That would be $1. I think I wrote it down here. It's $1.01 if you go over an ounce on your cards because you put stuff in it, gift card. Sometimes the cards are heavy, and then you put a gift card in it and it makes it over an ounce. Then you have to pay the 2 ounce rate. That's $1.01. They have a stamp for that. It's called a 2 ounce stamp. Or you can get a regular stamp and then a second ounce, which is ours is a school bus. So I don't know if everybody across the country has the same ones, but those are the ones that I see in all of our post offices here. So they're pretty much there's a stamp for everything. 1 ounce, 2 ounce. We don't have a 3 ounce stamp, but we can add on to them, or we put it on the computer and print it out from the computer. And no, we cannot print out your labels with name and address and return address. When you go to the post office to mail something, please have your items already addressed and sealed because that'll make the process so much faster for you and everybody. And you guys probably don't need to know this. It's the people that come in. Could you help me with this? I didn't know if I needed to put something inside. I didn't know if you needed to see what was in it. Those are the people we get. And that slows down the line for every single person. Please have your things packaged, ready to go. The only time we need to know what's going in it is if you're doing a registered mail. We need to know that it's in it. If you want something pre-stamped to come back to you, we need to be able to put that in there, like people do with their passports. Also, if it's media mail and it's not media mail, they have it can be examined anywhere along the way. So if you want to say something's media mail and to send it at a cheaper rate when it's really not, media mail can be examined by anybody along the way. It can be opened legally. So just keep that in mind. I don't think you'll go to jail, but I think they'll find out it's not, and then there'll be postage due on it because they'll charge you the full rate of whatever it is. So just people try it every once in a while. Sometimes it gets caught, sometimes it doesn't. It's a crapshoot. Every once in a while, we get some things that we just can't believe people have tried doing. We 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 get things that are like this thick right here that people try sending as a letter and it doesn't bend. No, that has to go as a package. Has to go as a package, and you have to pay more. Packages start at $5 for ground. Doesn't matter where it's going. And the further it goes, the more it's going to get, though. The more it's going to charge. But yeah, it has to be able to bend. This is not bendable. This is a card. Goes inside the envelope. Okay. Bendable. Gift card inside. Very flat. Does not stick out. Not too bad. We usually get them in there. We send them regular. They will usually go through. If you put more than one in, it's going to end up too stiff and you're going to have to pay extra for it. So just keep that in mind. You can send stickers. And I know on the Christmas card exchange last time, you guys were sending out some of your ornaments, your crocheted ornaments in regular envelopes, and you are it is the perception of whoever is receiving it and whoever is at the other post office, whether they want to accept it or send it back. I'm just saying, just because it went through once does not mean it's going to go through every time. Sometimes it's people are too busy to take the time to send it back and they'll just say whatever and put it through. Sometimes you'll get somebody that says, oh, hell no, that's not going. And they'll say, nope, I'm tired. I'm tired of people cheating us out of money. And sometimes your stuff will get damaged because it's in a regular envelope. So if you want to put anything in an envelope, I suggest you reinforce the edges with tape, just so that I get things that get ripped open all the time because of something's in it. Um, Also, you can write non-machinable on it if you want. Writing fragile on something has absolutely no effect on the process, just so you know. It doesn't matter if it's fragile. If it's fragile, package it really well so it doesn't break. That's the only protection you have. Writing fragile on something does absolutely no good. Nobody sees it. It goes on a machine. The machine doesn't care what it says. The machine only reads the barcode, not what we write on the package. Um, so yeah, the other item is make sure your barcodes are readable when you print them out on your computers, because I had 3 yesterday that were so blurry they wouldn't even scan. And if I put them in manually, that's the only time they're going to get put in, because the machine is not going to be able to read it. It won't get a scan. So the person is going to see it, put it the number in, not the barcode number, just the zip code number. It's going to get put in that box, but it won't get scanned. So that person's not going to know where it's going. If your barcode cannot be read, you will have no tracking. It's useless. There's no point. So please have your barcodes readable when you print them out. Sometimes if we use the draft version, they get a little blurry. So also, there are settings on your printer. On mine, there's a setting when I'm printing out through my pirate ship where I can say how many labels I want on a sheet of paper, and I always do 2 because that's a good size. Um, your package should be big enough for the label to fit on there with the address and the barcode on one side, so it can be seen by the computers. Which is usually 4x6. 4x6 is about the smallest. That's what our labels are. That's the smallest your package should be. It should not be any smaller than that, so that we can put the label on it. And no strings. Don't wrap it with strings. You can use Christmas paper if you want, but use the real thick stuff, because the real thin stuff gets ripped and torn, and the cheap stuff that's really thin gets ripped and torn. Don't use strings. But you could use Christmas wrap. We get Christmas wrap all the time, but the nice stuff, the thick stuff. And if you go through third party, box in a bag, cheapest thing you're going to get. I did get an email from Pirate Ship saying that they weren't going to raise prices except on certain items. And I don't happen to have that email. I'm not sure which ones they weren't raising. It could have been the really big ones, maybe. They were going to raise a little bit, but last year they didn't they didn't increase the surcharges on their commercial stuff. And now I have when I give you my chart at the end of the thing, I'm going to have the commercial rate on there. Now the commercial rate is when it's not a holiday. I didn't even know this was possible, but I had a medium flat rate box that normally goes for $18.40. And when I sent it through pirate ship, it was $16.85. It was $2 cheaper. Now, if I send stuff that's not a flat rate, I get a lot less. I can get under $10 going across the country. So yeah, I know a lot of you don't want to go through the computer, don't want to do that. But if you have to send a lot of things, just saying that maybe it would benefit you to do a third party and have a printer, or go get your library and go print out your labels and send them. And the other thing, if you take your things to the post office and put them in the drop box, there's no proof you mailed it. Just saying. That is not proof you mailed it, that you have a label. If it never gets scanned and you put it in the manual drop box, there's no proof you mailed that. We have people come and say, well, I dropped it in the box. I had a guy do this the other day. I dropped it in the box. Well, and there's no scan. I go, well, I can't help you then. There's no proof you even put it in the box. I'm just saying. And he kind of didn't understand what I was telling him. I go, well, I don't know you put it in the box. All I know is you printed out a label. I don't know you because we didn't receive it. We didn't give you a receipt saying we received it. Now it's in our possession. So there's no proof you ever mailed it just because you printed the label. Keep that in mind when you're sending things. Okay. A lot of people will come in and hand stuff to us. And do you need a receipt? No. Okay, fine. Do you want a receipt? Most people do because they want proof that they mailed it. That's the only way they're going to get it. Now, even if you take it to the self-serve kiosk and you get a receipt, that does not prove you mailed it. So I do not know if that would hold up in an argument or a case. It should say you use the self-serve kiosk because the receipts that I do have my cashier number on them, my clerk number on them. So if I see a receipt that says it was mailed at a self-serve thing and you're saying it wasn't scanned, you might not have even put it in the drop. I mean, people try to scam people all the time. I have receipts showing I mailed it to you, but I did it at the self-serve, so I didn't really mail it. I just pretended to mail it. See how that works? Yeah. So to protect yourself, if you're mailing things, it's always better to get a clerk to give you a receipt from the register. That's the original acceptance scan that will show we have possession of it. That's the only one that really works. Mailman won't really scan it. It comes back to the station, and the station either sometimes they won't scan it because they have too many, and then it goes to the plant and it will have to go on a machine, and that could actually be the next day. So you may not even get an acceptance scan until the next day or 2 days later, depending on how busy they are. And they're going to be very busy. So that is some information maybe you didn't have that might be helpful. As far as packaging, tape your things really well. Don't put tape over the barcode or half the barcode. I have things come in that I try to scan and there's plastic over the barcode and it reflects and I can't get a good scan. When I do mine, I tape all four sides and then I tape half the barcode, leave half of it untaped. Then I tape over both addresses so that if it gets wet, the mailing, the to address is protected and the from address is protected. I put tape over those and I leave half the barcode exposed because I was taping the whole thing until I found out I'm not supposed to. And don't tape over your stamps. If you put a stamp in an envelope and it doesn't stick, you can't use it. You got to use glue stick if you want it to stick. Do not put tape on it. It'll get returned to you. It's totally illegal. If you've said, well, I've done this, I've done that, it's gone through, well, then you're lucky. Sometimes we do stuff and it does make it through to the other side. And that means nobody's caught it. Yeah. If you have any questions, if you or anything, go ahead. You can leave a comment. If you have my email, you can email me. If you want to discuss anything, I have email. It'll be in the description. You can talk to me. This is good information will vary depending where you are in the country. You could ask 3 clerks and get 3 different answers. Everybody's been trained out of the same book, but our experiences also lead us to give you information that could be different from each other. I've been in the post office 30 years. I've worked in a lot of areas of the post office, at the plants, with the machines. Now I'm at a station working with the customers in the mail that they're bringing in. That's why I have a little different information that I didn't have before, because I'm seeing things coming in. I'm talking to the customers that don't really understand our side because they're not trained like we are. So they don't know. And so we try to educate when they come in. If you are selling stuff through Poshmark, Poshmark allows you to use priority packaging. It's free. Go to your post office, pick some up and use it and have it ready to go when you come in. Have it already packaged. Show your barcode, your QR code if it's Poshmark. Now, Mercari doesn't seem to do that. eBay doesn't seem to do that. There's a couple other places that people bring in that don't do that, but in Poshmark, You're always allowed to use. So you can also order your supplies online. If you want any kind of boxes, you can, and people are getting them right now. So order them now if you want them. If you want to send a bunch of stuff in medium flat rate boxes, order a case. You can get, I think, you can get 10 or you can get 25 or whatever. If you need some, order it. Don't even bother going to your post office. Mailman will bring it right to you. And if you want to get, those are the flat rate boxes. Yeah, if you mail tubes, if you do anything that's round and you mail tubes, always put tape over the ends because those things at the end pop out and the stuff falls out. That's another thing. Sometimes people will mail posters or prints. Always tape over the edges. I'm forever having the ends pop off and having to look for them, to put them back on when I was at the plant. So, yeah, I know some of you are familiar with how things go because you've had family members who work for the post office, and so yeah, you want to share a story or something? Go ahead, let me know. I'm gonna put this paper with the prices at the end of the video so that way you'll be able to actually see it. If you want to take a screenshot of it, you'll have it. And there is a link to our PDF file that has all this information, so you could actually go the news release. I'm going to put that link in there so you actually go and read it yourself if you want to look at it. But yeah, and and I don't get paid by Pirate Ship. I just use it. I don't know if there's a better one out there. It's easy for me to use because if you sell on Etsy, you can import your sales from Etsy. Yeah, it'll import them all into Pirate Ship and you'll get the cheaper prices. And Elaine mentioned in her video that Etsy was giving her notifications that $6.99 was too much for shipping. When I use Pirate Ship, I pay about between $7 and $9 for a package. So what I did was I set my price at $7.99. You always give that 99 cents in there. And they told me I was charging too much. Nobody would want to pay it. But that's what I'm paying. I'm not going to mail things for free. But what I did do is if they bought $35 worth of stuff, you have an option. They put you higher in the notifications if you offer free shipping, and there's free shipping. You can get $35 or more free shipping. So you price your things so that two of them is quite a ways over $35. So say I do my mystery boxes, okay? And I'm going to charge 25 for them. Well, I click the box that says anything over 35 is free shipping. Well, they buy two boxes. That's $50. So I can afford to do free shipping. Okay? Because they just bought two boxes. But if it's like 15, they have to buy three things. So keep that in mind. You can get that money back if you price your things accordingly for the shipping. I don't even care what Etsy says. Don't even care because you have to ship the stuff and it's going to cost. And if you're not going through a third party, yeah, you're going to pay more. I wouldn't mail as much stuff to you guys as I do if I wasn't saving so much money. There's no way I could afford it. There's no way. So, okay, I might have forgot some things. I didn't go into as much detail on packing stuff as I usually do because I have videos for that. I have a playlist that's called Armchair Chef as Postal Nut, and there's some other videos on there that also, I'll link the playlist at the end of this video also, that talk about how I package my things and some suggestions on that. But I wanted to get this out to you because the 6th is coming up. And if you have things ready to mail them before the 6th, if you can. Save a little bit of money. I always said if you buy things cheaper, you can buy more of it. Yeah, it's true. That's what I taught my son. Not necessarily buy more, but you can get more for your money if you pay less. That's makes sense to me. So okay. All right, guys. I hope I was helpful, and I hope you got if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I can always look things up, or I can find things probably if you need me to look up something for you. Um, so thank you. I will see you in the next one. Bye.